In this lecture, we will cover shell aliases. Alias. Shell alias is a shortcut to reference a command. For common patterns, it can reduce keystrokes and improve efficiency. An alias can help you avoid having to type in long commands that you run frequently. Syntax looks like this. Alias, then you type in what you're associating as a letter or a character to that particular alias, and then you type in the alias name. The general syntax for the alias command varies sometimes according to the shell. In the case of the bash shell, this is how it looks like. Let's move on to some of the example and let's see how it actually works through the terminal. So let me bring up the terminal. So let's try the command first. To look at all your aliases, you can type in the command alias, hit enter. These are all the aliases that are currently listed. For example, rm is equal to rm minus 1, which means if you run a remove command, it will ask you with the -i option, so you will get a confirmation. Do you really want to remove this file? And you have to type in y for yes, and then that's how that alias works. If this alias was not there, then when you delete a file, it will not ask you for the confirmation. So these are some of the aliases, and you can check what aliases you have currently by typing in the alias command. Let's look at one of them. For example, let's create one of them. Let's type in alias. Let's associate an alias to the P letter equals, and then let's associate to pwd command. Hit enter. Now P, hit enter. As you can see, now since the P letter is associated to pwd command as an alias, now it typed in our pwd print working directory. That's how alias works. Let's say if I type in alias and type in P, hit enter, it will tell us what that P is associating to as an alias. So as you can see, it's telling us what this alias points to. Let's look at another example. For example, LL. LL is pointing to ls minus L. So when you type in LL, it will actually run the command ls minus L option. And that's how you can set up some of the aliases. Let me clear the screen. Let's look at another example. For example, we can do alias L equals ls minus ltr. So hit enter. It did not find the command. The reason it's saying that because we did not type in the inverted commas. So let's try with that. Now we did not get the error message. So if you get an error message, it's probably because your syntax is not correct. Now let's check what L is pointing to. ls minus ltr, so it just ran the command. And in order to remove the alias, we can run the command unalias. So unalias, and for example, the one we did right now was L, so let's remove that alias. Now if I type in L, it's gonna say command not found because it's no longer an alias. Let's look at one more thing. These are the aliases which are just for this session. So when you run this command and you create an alias, is just for the session. If you want to make it permanent, you have to actually go to the user's bashrc file and make sure the entry is in there. So let's look at our current bashrc file for the current user who's logged in, and the current user who's logged in is root. Tilde represents the home directory for the logged in user, and then we type in the bashrc file name, hit enter. As you can see, the aliases are listed in here for the current user, and if we wanted to add another one and make it permanent, we can add the entry in this file, and that's how you make an alias permanent. I hope you learned something useful in this video as well, and I'll see you in the next one.